we should just mention, did you cover the Tim Pool thing yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I should just mention, though, that Tim Pool apparently has been conferring with Joe Rogan, as is your buddy Rogers.
Dude, I'm so sad about that.
But why is Joe Rogan covering the costs of Tim Pool getting COVID treatment? The dude is a multi-millionaire.
I think there's some sorts of PR because of covering their tracks of the irresponsibility. Like Tim Pool was very pointed saying, Joe's like, dude, you got to take this really seriously. That's not what Joe Rogan has been saying like for the past months. He's been saying, actually, if you're young, you might be dangerous to get the vaccine.
Right. And I also want to reiterate personally, when was this? When did Tim Pool invite me to be
spring? Maybe
was it in the spring of this year? Or was it in the fall of last year? I can't remember when it was. Tim Pool invited me to do his show, and he announced on Twitter that he wanted to have lefties on his show or something. And I said, I'll do it. And he said, okay, when can you do it? I said, well, I can probably do it next week. And so he got into my DMs, or I got into his. I can't remember exactly.
This was June.
This was just June? Yeah. Oh, my God. So this past June. And he said, this was this past June?
Oh, sorry. He was commenting on it in the wake of Crowder, so it was a little bit earlier.
No, I feel like it was pre-vaccine. And then he said, like, yeah, no, we'll fly you down here and put you up. And I'm like, dude, I do a daily show, A, and B, like, I'm not sure I want to go into your studio, because this was not at a time, I think maybe you and I were in a studio together, but we had a tarp across here.
Open window,
we had open windows. We had 2 filters there. I was taking CO2 levels and in here, because I got kids. And not only do I have kids, one of my kids was like potting with some other kids. So I have a responsibility to those kids and their families. And not only that, I have an ex-wife who we're not potted together. So, there was a lot of people I was responsible.
But Sam, it's easier just to think about like the most recent Marvel universe than to think about all of this stuff.
Exactly. And so I said to him, I'm happy to do it by Zoom. And he said, well, we don't do it by Zoom. We don't even have internet in the studio.
Yes. Didn't he, like a few days later, then do a stream?
Well, they do
with,
a different show.
They do a different show, to be fair. And then the name of his show was
the point is, it could have been
life.
worked around.
But it couldn't. But then he, and look, okay, so I can't do it. But then he accused me of lying and being ridiculous and claiming that they followed, they take, all the protocols seriously, and COVID's more or less going away, and we have hand sanitizer. And I guess my point, now that it's been announced that Tim Pool has contracted COVID and he got it very bad, is I'd like an apology. I think it was rude, his response to me. I think it was uncalled for.
Called you a coward?
Did he call me a coward?
Yep.
I think that was rude. I have said that, particularly now that I am vaccinated, I will be willing to go down there, and particularly now that we don't have to do the second Peacock show, I could do the show from the road, or you could do the show, or whatever it is. So I'm willing to do it, but more than anything else, I'm just simply hurt that he's not apologizing, because it seems to me to be self-evident now that I was right and he was wrong. And the stakes, obviously, for someone my age, I mean, he's 20 years younger than me, at least, right? There are people my age who die from COVID. There are people my age who I have kids, like I say. And so I want to, say that I'm very disappointed in Tim, that he has not apologized. If I remember correctly, when the Avengers had a big fight and broke up, and when they got back together, I think like Iron Man apologized to Captain America. So there's precedent for something like this.
Exactly.
Which is not to say that we were ever on the same team, the Avengers together. I'm just saying that I'm trying to express it in a way that he'll understand. There's been plenty of examples of superheroes where they apologize to other people for things that they did was rude
Yes.
or wrong. And even sometimes superheroes have to admit, like, I did something wrong. This would be like if Thanos found out that, one of the other guys had done something and had made a mistake. Like Thanos probably in the end regretted it, and he could have apologized.
This would be like Peter Parker just not feeling bad that Uncle Ben died.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So
You want to be like Venom? Or do you want to be like Spider-Man? Think about it, Tim.
I just hope
that's a good point. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I just hope the vaguely leftish guy on Tim Pool, I think his name is Time Lord. Maybe that's the Boston basketball player. I can't remember what his name. Moon Lord. I think the Surfs guy name. I hope he's okay, because I think Tim should have create a safe work environment for his employees, and he failed to do so. So I just hope the employees that I care about are safe. And
fair enough. Tim. So Tim, if you're out there, look, there's plenty of precedent within the Marvel Cinematic Universe for you to apologize to me. And so I think it's time.